educational teams at schools, from the principal to the teacher, principal teacher, the counselors, psychologists, and we work with them, we help them to know there was an abuse, there was or harassment, and then we work with them and we aim to get to build with them a program, preventing programs all over the year and after the crisis. What kind of sexual abuse do we face? Sexual abuse through the network, photography distribution, abuse inside the family, abuse from one of the educational team towards a student, group sexual abuse, group of boys towards one girl, girls towards one girl, also girls toward boy. Less, but we also face this. Abuse among students, one for one, and abuse from a stranger. These are our challenges that we need to face and to work with. Okay, our perception is like this. We work in both fields, sexuality in general, and the topics we work with are
they're not here.
They're not here. Okay. Gender, stereotypes, intercourse, intimate relationships, friendship, developing communication skills, taking the right decisions and choices. We also aim, or our goal is to get the children to know how to choose the best choice for them at the right moment, and how to deal with all the problems that they face today. Pornography is one of our subjects that every day we face and we have to challenge. And then there is all the abuse and self-image, body image, it's long. And then there is the second field, which is the abuse. We have to, usually we face it after the school has a problem, after the school gets the information that there was an abuse. Sometimes we get to know this before because we suspect of something, so we try to find out. But usually the things happen and then we know. Unfortunately, we want to get to the other side.
Can I disturb you?
Yes.
Until I think 4 years ago, there used to be 2 units in the Ministry of Education. One of sexual education and the other one of preventing sexual abuse. And there was, about 4 years ago, we united 2 units because we understood that most of the sexual behavior that we face are between children and themselves. And and if we want to deal with it, we have to do a lot of sexual education and understand, and that the teachers and the teams should understand sexual behavior and development. So now the 2 units work together, and what Soraida just said is a lot of time the unit that people call more is the crisis unit, because people call us when they have crisis. But then we use it as a start or a point that we can take them and start sexual education in order to prevent other events.
I want to add that although the ministry, our policy in the ministry is to have the platform of educational sexual education at the program, at the life skills program, which is supposed to be from class 1 to the 12th grade. But we know from the many there are many things that a counselor has to do in the school. So maybe she doesn't get to all the parts of the life skill program. This happens sometimes in few schools, although it is a program which every counselor has to lead in her school from the first grade till the 12th grade. Our perception, we believe that we adults who are significant, we want to be significant in the lives of our children or our students. So we believe that we can talk to our students about sexuality. We are the people who can talk with them. It's not right that we can talk to them in every subject and not sexuality. We believe that we become a model for them. When we speak with them about sexuality, we give them that it's legitimate. You can speak with us. We can also not know everything, and you can not know everything. It's okay. We can talk about things. We can go together to find out the information, and what we can be for you is that you can come and talk to us, and you can tell us there is a problem, or I don't get it, or I don't understand, and we will be there for you. This is the life skills program. That it is the basic platform that every school has to lead. I'm not going to speak about it a lot because maybe in another conference we will speak about this program and how it deals with all the subjects. Also how to face problems, how to take decisions, how to make friends, how to deal with all the violence around, how to deal with also drugs and smoking. This is the program. That,
you already said that.
Okay, I already said that. And we developed many books, many programs. So these are some of our programs. This is a program that deals with friendship, intimacy, without violence. This
for
is
high school.
For high school, from the 10th grade to the 12th grade, and it's basically the life skills program for these ages. And these are also about abuse programs. Maybe they are a little bit old, but we also try to work on them every year. Also, this program is to encourage children to recognize abuse or risky situations, how to know that they are in danger.
And use bibliotherapy.
Yes, these are using texts. It was only in Hebrew. It wasn't translated to Arabic, but how to use bibliography in giving skills for children to know that they are in danger and to know where to go to. We have to move on. These are our programs. What is important that from the year 2012, every year, it was always there was a week that we had to work. It's the week of the education system to prevent sexual abuse. This was always. But from 2012 till this year, the subjects were these subjects, gatekeepers, because we understood that children are there around all the time. They see things, they face things, and maybe they don't know what to do about the information that they know about towards their friends. So we worked that year at the gatekeepers. 2013, preventing sexual abuse. This was the subject. So what we do in these weeks, we prepare many workshops, material. Maybe if we have research, we focus on it, and then we give it to all the ages, from the kindergarten till the 12th grade. In this week, all over the country, the counselors and the psychologists are all working with the teams, with the educational teams, to get inside the classes and to talk about these subjects in the class.
The idea is that there's 1 week that we develop materials and give them to the field, but the idea is that they can work with it all year.
Yes.
It's not just for this week, but it's a week that helps us to get all of them focusing in this aim, and it helps us to have a date that we have to develop materials, and we
update
them, and we understood that it's better if we have focused issue and not preventing sexual abuse, and that's the reason we take another issue each year and do something more focused. Sometimes we can take something from another year and adapt it.
2014, it was about pornography, because I think during that time there was a law that adults are not supposed to give any pornography material to youngsters. So we worked very hard that year, and every year it's not like we finish that and that's it. Every year, every day we work with pornography, with these subjects. 2015, it was the desire, consent, mutuality, relationships. This year that it was the combined, and we started working through this skill that starts from the healthy relationships up to the problematic situations and relationships. Last year it was like a message for everyone, youngsters, students, also the teachers, to stop, look very good, and to choose what behavior do you want to behave with the other. You have to be responsible for your behavior towards others. And this year it was the subject of the year, and this subject, getting help and approaching to get help, it is the subject that we took it from this week, and we're working with it in all the fields, and also in the positive fields.
We had some conventions about it, about why children does not approach for help, and what does teachers and counselors should do, initiate approaching.
We will tell you how we got there about Triana. So at 2012, 2013, there was this project, Triana, which was from the University of Haifa, the Center for the Study of Society, Triana, who wanted to have this research. Professor Rahel she was our mentor in this research, and we had the research about 15,000 children, 12,000 children all over the country, from north to the south, all societies. And we got to learn some facts about the children, about schools, about teachers. So that the factors that encourages us to have the research, it was this thing, the relationship between the student and the adults who are
factors that encourage report.
Yes.
That was a finding of the
so
research.
we learned that it wasn't enough, and we learned that if we are there in our students' lives and we are not being there in the good way, in the perfect way, so this is what we can work with. We want to be the address of our children. We want to be the one that our children, our students can see us as the people who can listen, who can work with, who can trust. So this is what we're starting later. So after Triana, exposing the findings and learning the scope of the phenomena of the children abuse, so we know the exact phenomena. We know what we need to do.
Actually, we did two things. One, Soraida will talk about, because she was one of the leading person in it. Is in a minute, just in the research, how to help the children that are exposed to the research and the questionnaires. But the two things we did after, one, the counselors needed is to think about how to lead the school staff to be this meaningful person for the children, significant other. And the other one, the psychologist led, is thinking about the direct question, because the other thing was the other encouraging factor that helped the children to expose their abuse was direct question. So we and the psychologist group started thinking about when, how, and in what areas, and who should talk to children and how. We took some sessions with Rachel about it. We thought about it ourselves, and we started doing a workshop in the field for psychologists about this, because some, as paradoxical as it's, when you think about it, many of the psychologists do not approach for the direct question. It's not something in this in our
learning,
socialization.
And also in our training, once maybe when we were in the university, someone told us, don't ask the direct question. Try to be, the intake conversation has to be very warm, you have to be careful, because also we are afraid that we will damage afterwards in the police, all the investigation in the police. Yes, sure. Okay. And the North District had our principal of the North, which principal? What's Orna? Simchon.
He's the head of the Northern District.
The head of the Northern District. When she actually one of our inspectors, when she saw this
result
that children don't approach to their teachers. She took this to the head of the to Orna Simhon, and she said, okay, we need to do something with this. So we went to Rahel again, and we asked her, what can we do? And then we had this research before and after a program, and we built a program that says that here I am, you can approach to me. I am here for you, you can come to me. And this was a project that has 6 units for each class, from first grade to the 12th grade. And in every class, in every grade, the children are exposed to 6 units that talk about abuse, harassment, violence, and where can you go? What can you do with it? If you face it, what can you do with it? And the end, okay, at the end you can come to us. So I will stop here.
Okay, so I will go on. This is just an example of. This is the. This is an example of one of the programs of this year of Approaching for Help. It's instructions how to manage a conversation with a student that there's a suspicion that he was abused. Just go on. This is a poster that were put in the classes. It was with Harub,
Yes.
with Machon Harub. Let's talk about it. If you feel something hurting you, just come and talk. It's also in share it. It's also in Arabic. It's not here. Okay. Our challenges that are we think about a lot is how to differentiate between normal behavior or appropriate to the age and behaviors that are abuse. Especially, I started talking about it before when we united the 2 units. That was one of the challenges that we understood that we're facing, because again, most of the events that people, a lot of school call us and says we have sexual abuse in school, and then we start asking. And then when we start asking, we understand that it's not necessarily sexual abuse what they're facing sometimes, but sometimes it's all kinds of sexual behaviors that sometimes are inappropriate, or but they have, it's all kinds of behaviors between children same age, and we start to ask in order to understand. But a lot of times the school, when it faces it, it all looks the same. And then we start asking and understanding. A lot of challenges in kindergarten, sexual behaviors in kindergarten. Whoever reads papers in Israel sees that it's a very warm issue, and sometimes in 2 poles, either hysterical reactions to something that is age appropriate, or some other times not seeing things that can be abused. And of course, when we see the abuse, we have to treat with it, deal with it, and as in the school, we have to contain all the poles, all the circles. We have to detect the assault circles, or even if it's not assault, we have to detect the circles that were influenced from the event, which is sometimes, if it's abuse, there's abuse, and the abuser and the abusive child, and their families, and the other kids that heard about it, and other kids that are sensitive because they had something in their past, and sometimes some of the teachers that are sensitive for that, and sometimes the whole community. Sometimes we have to, especially in this era when everything is all over, when people, even if we try to keep things very quietly, very quickly it goes out. So from what you think it's, you just deal with one or two child, you deal very quickly with the whole school and the whole community. Okay, so I just don't use that. So we have to look at it generally about the whole school and also about the child itself. And we have a saying that says, every time you have to give educational response. Okay, we started with prevention, but if something happened, every sexual behavior, if you see it in school, it has to have some educational response, even if it's age appropriate. But sometimes we have to have therapeutic response. I mean, we have to send the children, we have to assess, and that's also our job in the psychological, educational psychologists that escort the school, to see what you need. Some of the the psychological centers have therapeutic centers as well, and if he needs more, and sometimes you have to have the intervention of the law. So that's the hierarchy. Because we see a lot, sometimes that the schools tend to go all the way to the law and forget what happens before.
And also, I have to say that every case is an opportunity for us to start a program which speaks about the healthy fields and also to prevent the second abuse.
We see, just the last sentence, we see more and more how these things are mixed. How things that starts as a normal, age-appropriate gets with no skills of the children to being abused. So we all the time have to work on this. I just want to say that also, I didn't say that Iris Manda Ben Yaakov, which is the manager of our unit, couldn't come here today, so we came instead of her, so she sends her greeting to you as well. She will be here tomorrow.